Hello and welcome to the Chemistry Made Simple podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Macario, and this is the podcast where you get chemistry confident and we take you from point A to grade A. Hello, welcome back to the Chemistry Made Simple podcast. Hope you're well and hope your studies are going well. So this episode is inspired by questions I've received through Instagram and through email. I'm always receiving questions, and just recently a lot of those have been asking things that are effectively definitions of some of the words we use in organic chemistry. And so I just wanted to use this episode to talk about some of those, and we'll probably talk a little bit more about some of the organic chemistry questions in the next episode as well. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about what are mechanisms, what are electrophiles, what are nucleophiles. So firstly, what is a mechanism? So a reaction mechanism is basically a reaction pathway. It's the way that the reactants become the products. It's the way that the reaction happens. But it tells you a little bit more than just the equation, and it tells you a bit more than just drawing out the structures as well, because it will show how the reaction happens. You will see on a reaction mechanism some arrows, and the arrows are showing movement of electrons, so that it's showing where bonds are breaking or being made. And therefore, it shows how that reaction proceeds. And another way we use the word as well, we group reaction mechanisms because there are various types of mechanism that take place. For example, you may have heard about nucleophilic substitution or electrophilic addition, amongst many others. And that is describing a mechanistic pathway, a general description of what is happening within the reaction process. So very often what's enabling a reaction process to actually proceed is the presence of suitable reagents, for example, an electrophile or a nucleophile. So let's talk about electrophiles first. Electrophiles, as we can work out from the name, are substances or chemical species that are attracted to negative charge or attracted to electrons. That's why they love negative charge, love electrons. So these will be things that are electron deficient themselves. So they usually have a positive charge or a strong partial positive charge. So a good example is the H plus ion, which of course has a full positive charge. That's going to be attracted to negative charge areas. A good example is when H plus is attracted to the lone pair on a nitrogen in ammonia or an amine, for example, and that causes a new bond to be formed, which is part of that reaction process. How about a nucleophile? Well, a nucleophile is kind of the opposite. A nucleophile is a chemical species that lacks positive charge, so it lacks electron deficient areas. It's going to have either a negative charge or a partial negative charge on it itself. So this is going to be something with a partial negative charge or a full negative charge. So a chloride ion, for example, is going to behave as a nucleophile. Likewise, the chlorine atom within hydrogen chloride will have a strong partial negative charge on it, and that might make that molecule and the chlorine end of that molecule, the HCl molecule, be attracted as a nucleophile towards a positive area of another molecule. Okay, and we touched on the fact that we often include arrows or see arrows that are showing the movement of electrons for the forming or breaking of bonds. And we're going to go into more detail on that in the next episode. So make sure you're subscribed and listening to the next episode. Also, I know there are many, many other words that come up in chemistry that you might want to know about. I'd like to help you with those too. So please do get in touch on my Instagram at Chemistry Made Simple and tell me what those words are that you'd like a nice, crisp, uncomplicated explanation for. Look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for listening to this episode. I hope you found it useful, and if you have had value from it, do consider visiting our Patreon community at patreon.com/chemistrymadesimple, where you'll be able to ask deeper questions about this topic and get more support for your studies too. So I look forward to speaking to you again in the next episode, and until then, do look after yourself and goodbye.